To go over Anders' gameplay, simple things that he does to help get him those extra points and to get those wins. We're going to go over a few things that he does, and you can see one of them now. It's actually up against the top 100. I think the top 100 play he's playing, and he's actually 3-1 down at this point. One thing I want to talk about is these early triggers. Now, on my Patreon, you can see how to do this with a full theory, but I call this the 1-3-2s, where you trigger a player really, really early, and you get that timing to get that perfection through a ball. You can see on this time, they get through, but it's enough for him to get that corner. But there's something he does so simple that I've been saying since day one. Just look at this: basic rotations, gets the ball inside the box, doesn't rush, gets the ball, and then you can just see some R1 dribbling, and it's an easy goal. It's not like he did anything in particular here. All he did is when he got the ball here with Pina, he did a ball roll, got the ball back to Marquinhos. Again, didn't just shoot. A lot of people here and there in this situation, they get excited, they think, oh, I'm going to take a shot. No, he waits for a better attacking player to become available, waits, and all he does with Pina is he just holds the R1 button and just glides through. The R1 control sprint is the best way of scoring inside the box. Even if you're on the Elite Division or you're in Division 10, you need to do this inside the box. If you're not doing it or you're not doing it properly, it's an easy way of scoring. You get the ball with your player, and if you see this space, you just hold the R1 button and you just glide into the space, not towards goal. You can see, look here, look how he's gliding, not towards goal, he's gliding away from goal, just to give him that space. And then when he's got that space, he's going to do a double tap low driven to get that easy goal. That's one of the simplest ways of scoring right now inside the box that all top tier players and pro players are using. Now, one question I get asked heavily is, how come my players don't move when I'm using a specific pro tactic or specific pro formation? Why do players not make movements like the pros do? And the truth is it your fault? Yes, it is. But I'll explain to you why it's your fault. It's just the simple things. You know, when you get the ball, for example, you can see Anders gets the ball over here. You can see, look, doesn't take a risk, gets a safe pass. Even though he's losing, plays it safe, right? Gets the ball. What's the first thing he does when you get the ball to winger? A 1-2. Do you know how many people keep running down the wing with a runner as opposed to doing a 1-2? We're doing a 1-2, he's doing two things. Number one, when this player starts making that run in behind, this player is going to make the defensive line shift from position number 1 to position number 2. We talk about this in the Patreon series, make sure that out in detail, but I call it dropping the defensive line. It's what gives Mbappe more space on the ball. Players do this in real life and also inside the game. And you can see, look, see how the defensive line is dropping to keep Pina? Because if the defensive line holds and Pina is through, but that just gives Mbappe enough space to make the pass going upwards. So this looks like a normal needless trigger that the ball is not going to, but this is very, very important. This 1-2 changes the play. If this pass is not made as a 1-2, the opponents can close the player down. The 1-2 force that player to be a bit on the defensive side, go back, gives Mbappe space to open up, and you can see I think he's playing some sort of 4-4-2 with a centre mid unbalanced, and you can see again not running, takes a left stick touch to the left hand side, makes a pass. Then when he gets the ball here, look, he's pressing the L1 button. He's asking Rodman to make a run. Now, why this is important is that player latches on. Rodman is available for the pass if he needs to make that pass, and he puts himself in that 1v1 situation. And it's a simple timing of the action. And again, this is the most important thing. It's just timing to perfection. Waiting for the perfect moment. You know, you can see when he gets the ball over here, doesn't make the pass now. A lot of people hastily make the pass now. He waits. Then he sees the gap, then he makes a through ball. You can alternatively use a player lock here, but that's how he's able to very easily get inside the box. That through ball is so important. Make sure you check that video out on a Patreon series where I explain that in detail. Now, this is something that his opponent does, something that I like to call the undefendable through ball. I got a full video on the Patreon series where I explain how to do this in perfection, the timing and why this works so well, what play styles people use to do this. But it's basically doing a 1-3-2, a simple 1-2. But instead of making an obvious pass, what you do is you pass the ball to someone else, and then your opponent thinks about the danger in a different area. Then it's all about waiting for that player just to be at that perfect moment and then making that pass to then get that ball in behind. And it was a beautiful goal. But it's the simple things. You know, yes, there's player locks and all these advanced mechanics, and you can even argue skill cancels. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to the basic mechanics that they use. They just use it very well. Another very simple situation I wanted to go over is the cross. He's not going for any corner glitch right now. But you can see, look, I just want to talk about the patience on the ball. How many of you watching this would go and rush and try to make the ball inside the box? And people always ask, oh, how do these players go in the right place? But they don't. It's not like it's Mbappe is going to be making an AI run. You see a lot of it is done manually. He's holding the ball with De Jong, seeing can he make that pass only when this pass becomes available. You see, at this moment of time, he knows that Marquinhos is going forward. If he loses the ball here, there's a big chance he could get counter-attacked. It's 4-4. So you can see he doesn't take a risk. He just keeps the ball safe with less dribbling. As I mentioned to you, less stick movement is used to keep the ball safe, not to dribble past someone, is to dribble to evade. Once the gap is being made, he makes the pass. But again, there's nothing he can really do here. So you can see with Marquinhos, makes the pass on the outside and then looks for the pass the ball to Mbappe, and then he can take that simple touch and simple goal. This is how a lot of the goals are being scored. But again, it's up to you being patient. I guarantee you watching this right now are rushing this. The most important thing is being patient, trying to find the striker. Another thing I want to talk about is just a simple making use of subs. You can see he brings on Rodman and he brings on Pina. Yes, he has a luxury of getting those players, but players like Rodman only cost 20k. I think most of you guys can afford it. You can see some very good pressure with Teammate Contain. When you're using Teammate Contain, make sure you use it carefully. You can see, although he's very aggressive, it's when he's one of the best players in the world and he knows how to defend. Wins the ball back, quick 1-2 again, L1 trigger, waits, perfect pass down the wing. Then just brings the ball back. It's almost the same thing every single time. Brings the ball back. Can you find the space inside the middle? And then does the first time shot. Nothing complicated, just the basics at a very high level. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see, for example, how to do those through balls, the undefendable ones, the timing, the play styles, where the run types and how it all works very well, we have a full video on the Patreon series, how to break the half space, the defensive lines, and how to do that so it works every single time. We've also got some build-up analysis. You're wondering, for example, how the pros get the ball down the wing to that one situation so they can get into that position where they can swing the ball backwards. We also go over that as well, explain to you how you can get the ball and then bring it down and bring it across. And don't forget, it doesn't always work every single time for the pro players. But the key thing is you just got to keep trying, keep being diligent. This is just an example of how I would use the L1 triggers. I just go through this in detail with different passes. And if you're wondering, how do you break those defensive lines? You're wondering how he does those sprints inside the box. We go over a gameplay example, tell you how it works mechanically, how the defensive AI reacts, and why this is very, very hard to stop. The link is down below in the description. And of course, let's just say you're like, no, you know what about, I know you're meta mechanics, I want to get to the point, but what about learning how to defend all the basics? That is, of course, always there. We've got the defending videos, and of course, all of these are going to be adjusted for that big new patch that's coming out next week. So everything you learn right now will transfer into that new next patch coming next week. Remember, patreon.com/no guys. If you don't get better after 1 month, we will refund your money. We've got so many videos, build up, defending, attacking, fundamentals, squad builders, real life examples. Everything is there. Links down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time.